Tedros II of the Coptic Orthodox Church have paid his condolences to the people of Saudi Arabia, and Prime Minister Ibrahim Mahlab is having an official delegation to attend the funeral. And of course, most of the leaders of the world are going to lead delegations, official delegations, to attend the official funeral of the King Abdullah ibn Abdulaziz and pay tribute to that great man. And we're still on with our prominent guest, Dr. Hala Enara, the political analyst, to take a closer look over the life of such a great statesman. And you were mentioning, or you pointed out at the fact that there is turmoil inside Yemen. And of course, this is very sensitive according to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where the Saudi borders are open to what's happening and the dangers and the threats that are posed to Saudi Arabia, with Houthis taking over the presidential palace and the Yemeni president resigning, and off and on, and the most deadliest confrontation between the elected democratic president, as we could say, and the legitimate president, let's use that term, and the Houthi rebels. Let's not put it as rebels, but the Houthi militants. At that very, very crucial time, the King Abdullah have died, and a new leader is taking over. Don't you think that's a bad timing for Saudi Arabia to face that situation? How do you assess the situation in Saudi Arabia concerning that?
In fact, Saudi Arabia is facing challenges like the whole region. It's not only Saudi Arabia. The whole region is facing critical challenges at this moment. But for Saudi Arabia, they are facing the challenge of the neighbor. They are neighbors with Iraq, they are neighbors with Yemen, and they can be affected by these two countries. But even before King Abdullah died, late King Abdullah died, he ordered building a fence at Saudi-Yemeni borders because he felt that there may be infiltrations.
That's what he pointed out to his foresight.
Yes. They know what may happen, and they are getting ready to face any attempt to infiltrate Saudi Arabia. You know that Houthis are Shiite, and there are some Shiites in Saudi Arabia, and they tried to create trouble inside Saudi Arabia, and they were faced fiercely. In fact, King Abdullah didn't allow them to create any problems in Saudi Arabia. He faced them fiercely because he wanted to keep the kingdom united. He didn't want any troubles inside the kingdom. And of course, he is defending Sunni Islam. He is the leader of Sunni Islam, and he has been defending Sunni Islam. And we know that this war between Shiites and Sunni is a war provoked by outside powers, because they see that it's more easy for Muslims to kill each other than for these powers to come bringing their armies and fight Saudi Arabia or Egypt or any country in the region. It's more easy for them to let us fight each other and kill each other, and they just watch and say, oh, but when someone is killed in Europe, like what happened in France, the whole West rise up and say this is terrorism. They don't see terrorism in the region, and in fact sometimes they encourage terrorism because this terrorism needs resources, needs equipment, needs armament. Where does the armies of these armies of terrorists come from? Where does the money come from? How can they survive without the great help from great powers? Saudi king, in fact, stood in front of this. He knew who was behind these terrorists, but he was not scared. He faced them strongly and fiercely and made it clear that Saudi Arabia will not yield to pressure. It will fight for its unified status, for the kingdom and for the whole region. And his foresight saw that without Egypt, no one can fight these terrorists. Egypt is the greatest military power in the Arab world, and the whole Arab world knows it, and it is like the mother for all Arab countries. And he saw that, and he defended Egypt at critical times when Egypt was under pressure, when there were many attempts to break Egypt, to make it kneel, even to make it kneel. He faced that. He was not scared to face even the United States to defend Egypt and to defend his country, of course. He knows that Pan-Arabism is not just an idea. It's the way to defend each other. The European Union they are uniting. They have a history of wars, of bloodshed between them. But now they are uniting because they see unity is power. And King Abdullah saw that. Unity is power. Unity with the good brother, that is Egypt. Unity of all brothers, but without leaving the older brother to be a prey for any power, either terrorists or even foreign powers or superpowers.
Right, yesterday in an unexpected decision, Prince Mohammed bin Nayef was chosen as the Crown Prince to the Crown Prince. How would you explain this? Would you please shed more light on this?
In fact, the new Crown Prince is the youngest son of King Abdulaziz.
Right.
That means he may be the last king of Abdulaziz's sons. There are still some sons of Abdulaziz like Prince Ahmed bin Abdulaziz. But the youngest one is now the Crown Prince, who will be a king after King Salman. Now, King Salman says that it's time for a new generation to take hold of power after the sons of Abdulaziz. All sons of Abdulaziz are old enough, and it is expected that the second generation will be holding power in the future. So they are training them, and who did he choose? He chose the interior minister. King Salman himself was a defense minister. The Crown Prince was head of intelligence. That means he understands the challenges Saudi Arabia and the whole region is facing. And they need power, they need people who understand what's going on. And even this second Crown Prince has a certain way in facing terrorism, because he is trying to re-educate religious people who are not involved in violence. He's trying to bring them to the fold of the state, not to put them in prisons, for example, or to chase them. So, in fact, this is a very wise choice. And he is accepted by the family. We knew yesterday that he was accepted by the family.
Would you please shed more light on the changes that took place? I mean, the cabinet will remain the same, but would you please shed more light on the changes that took place by the royal court in Saudi Arabia?
I think it's normal when any official occupies certain important position that he will bring the people he can depend on. And the new court chief, that is Prince Mohammed bin Salman, has been the court chief for King Salman when he was Crown Prince. So he brought him with him. He is the former chief of the court for King Salman, and he is now the chief of court for the king. Just the change of titles. He was chief for the Crown Prince, and he is now chief for the king. And maybe, of course, the king needs someone he can deal where there is some kind of understanding between both persons. There is better understanding between Prince Mohammed bin Salman and his father. He has been working with him for quite some time. He has been a chancellor for his father for quite some time. So there is some kind of understanding between them, and it will be more easy for him to deal with him as a defense minister.
Right. Dr. Enara, according to the traditions and regulations of the monarchy of Saudi Arabia, there is al-mubay'ah, or the swearing allegiance, and we believe that King Salman ibn Abdulaziz is succeeding the late king, may his soul rest in peace. And if we take a deeper look over his entourage or the rest of the officials that are taking over, I believe the foreign minister is staying in his place, and like you said, the Crown Prince Mokrim ibn Abdulaziz. Also, when we look at the picture here, we can see a bouquet of statesmen and officials who are the best in the whole world. And I focus on the foreign minister, Saud al-Faisal, was one of the best, who had played key roles and leading roles in resolving the most thorniest issues in the Middle East crisis, and Saudi issues, and Egyptian and the Gulf. Yes. How could you see that political scene, implementing some impact on the GCC Gulf states, and especially the relation between the different countries of the GCC? Is that going to affect any change? In fact, going to strengthen the
King Salman has been working in behalf of late King Abdullah for some time. When he was sick, Prince Salman came to Egypt in behalf of King Abdullah. Prince Salman attended the GCC meetings in behalf of King Abdullah when King Abdullah was not able to attend. And he is not strange to the rulers of the Gulf. He knows them very well, and they know him very well, and I expect continued cooperation between both sides. And I expect continued influence of Saudi Arabia under King Salman, because he is a powerful person. He is known to be very powerful. He is strong enough to keep his country and to go on the same way his brother went on. His late brother, I mean.
And now we go for this report for the swearing of allegiance, or al-bay'ah, for the new King Salman bin Abdulaziz.
But before we go, we should thank Dr. Hala Enara. Thank you very much for coming over to the breakfast show. And now over to the report.
Saudi Arabia's new King Salman pledged continued